beautiful peeps. And welcome to the Soberoso Xtra. Extra, read all about it. Okay, I won't quit my day job. Anyways, my name is Dora, and I am the host of the Soberoso podcast. And you have reached the Soberoso Extra. It is in addition to, it is on top of, it is behind the scenes, it is the after party. It is a deeper look and a deeper dive into my story and the stories of our guests. It is a bonus, and you are there now. So we are glad you found us, and welcome to the Soberoso Extra.
Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't. Because us humans, we're not perfect. And I think right. And I think a lot of times, being associated with, a Christian church or anything like that, some people categorize that person or said person as being perfect. And that's just not the case. Mm-hmm. Because I'm no better than you or anyone, mm-hmm. But what I try to do is I wake up every day and I try to improve myself, and I try to be better, a better me.
Best version of you.
More honest, more ethical, more, every aspect I can possibly do to be better. And I think that's the main goal.
Mm-hmm. So you are involved in a worship, what is it called? Worship group, band?
What do you call it? I'd say like worship team. I mean,
worship team in the music and in two very big churches, and also in the youth group. Do you ever get an opportunity to share your background and your experience with the youth of your drinking and your experience?
It's amazing you bring that up. I did talk to the youth pastor, and I said, hey, you know a bit about my background. You've followed me on Facebook for quite a while. I said, hey, if you ever want me to speak to the youth, about, alcoholism, addiction, and just things to watch out for, and so I have talked about it. I believe it will probably be in the works in possibly the fall. But I did mention that to them, and I think it will be taken into consideration probably this upcoming youth group for the fall.
Awesome. I love that, because I've got over 100 episodes up now, and I've interviewed guests from all around the world. And, to look at all the guests that I've interviewed, it is shocking to realize how young people start drinking and drugging. Like people are addicted at 14 and 15 years old while they're in high school.
I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, you were a late bloomer. But I think, a lot of parents, maybe things are changing now, but I think a lot of parents, when I grew up, tried to shelter their kids from the outside world. Like, I grew up in a Christian background. I grew up going to a Christian school. And I think my parents tried to shelter me from the world. And now that I look back, like I said, people were drinking and drugging at 14, and we weren't talking about it. We weren't talking about addiction and alcoholism. So for me, I think that it's very important to talk about this to high school age students, to talk honestly about it. And I love that you have the opportunity to speak from your own experience in this type of setting, because I think it's very important, because we can't shelter them, and you might be the voice that their father or mother doesn't have the courage to say, I'm not telling you don't drink because it's illegal. I'm telling you don't drink because these are the repercussions, listening to somebody like yourself who had all these gifts and talents given to them with famous people that, you know, maybe blew a lot of your years off because of alcoholism. And I think you are in a great position to share your story in a church, in a youth group, with kids that need to hear it at that age and know why, you know, not just because my mom told me that I can't till I'm 21, but, you know, what are the consequences of our actions of drinking? Why do people say not drink? You know, what are these stories behind, and not keep them sheltered, but talk about this stuff that affects people around the world. I think it's so important.
Oh, very much so. And, you know, we also live in a day and age of technology that, you know, sheltering someone is near impossible.
Mm.
And I think, you know, with that factoring in, you know, we got to have more on the defense of really showing right and wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and what can happen, what has happened to many people I know, what has gone on. You know, it's like the stories you don't hear, you know, you and I are you know, 2 out of probably hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, all right, it's like, you know, and mental health, and, you know, mental health and sobriety, you know, go side by side. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I just think, you know, more light needs to be broadcasted on it. And I think, you know, another big thing to broadcast is, you know, is basically saying, hey, getting sober can be just as goofy and just as funny and just as crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still
yeah.
I'm still goofy and crazy, but you know what? That was a fear I had when I got sober. It was like, what if I'm not me? You know, I drank because I was funnier and I had courage and stuff. But after a little bit of time, like now I embrace that. It's like, I don't need to be to drink or drug. Like I'm still a goofball, you know, and I'll dance in the grocery store aisle if the right tune comes on. Like I'll embarrass myself. I don't need a booze to do that.
I mean, what was it? I think it was back in like February, March. I can't remember, but, you know, I went up to a bar with a few friends, and, you know, and they kept joking around like, yeah, and he's the sober one.
Yeah.
it's like, because I can just roll with anything.
Yeah.
I can just
wake up without a hangover and without that guilt and remorse.
But I will say I do wake up pretty tired almost every morning. Just, I don't know why, but trying to get me out of bed is like almost next to impossible.
Oh yeah. Well, that's all right. I mean, you're not blacking out and wondering if you paid your bar tab.
Oh gosh, yeah, ain't that the truth? Facts.
All right, Eliott. Well, before I let you go here, can you tell me and our listeners that are out there right now, is there maybe a gift in sobriety that you didn't think or see that you would get? Like when you got sober, what are some of the gifts sobriety has given you?
The biggest gift that I have discovered is having a peaceful, logical mind, which I rarely ever had before. I was always flying on emotion. Now my brain is, my mind, my body is at such peace, and a lot more logical, you know, than when I was drinking.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here with us today and joining us and sharing our passion for recovery. Don't forget to check back regularly for the Soberoso Xtra.